Okay, here's where I start to branch off into my own style a bit. I'm going to demonstrate a simple and a complex example of merging two level areas together. To start, let's take the map we already made and copy it by holding Shift and then moving it. Make sure this is set to copy. Now I'm going to take this and rotate it. Let's put angle snap on so I can rotate it exactly 180 degrees. I'm going to move it so that the two tunnels are right next to each other. Go ahead and fix my zoom right here. Okay. That's about close enough, I'd say. Let's go back. And you'll see, because I copied it, I'm not going to be able to click on any of these. I'm only in the copy. So what I want to do, since we only want to export this one structure as one level, going to attach this, and we're going to click on the other object. And now these are both the same object. And I can click on both. In order to attach these tunnels together, I need these walls out of the way. So let's delete these. Fix my zoom again. Okay. So with that done, we're left with part of a tunnel, a hole, and another part of a tunnel. Let me make sure, yeah, that's off. Okay. And of course, as you know, we can't have any holes in our map. It will yell at us and scream. So here's the first method, and this is the one that you're going to hear a lot around Halo mapping, because it's definitely something you need to know. It's something that I hate doing, but sometimes you're left with no choice. I've developed a couple better techniques for doing it that I think I've seen a couple people do, but it's not really as well known. So first, let's start with this. With your Modify tab, you want to select Polygon. You want to go over to your Edit Geometry section and click Create. You're going to see all these vertexes in your map. They're going to be blue. So in fact, let's change the mesh color so it's just easier to see. Let's change it to, I believe yellow is the complement of blue, or whatever they call it, so you can see it better. There we go. So when I click Create, there you go. So all these blue dots right here. Start from one of these vertexes. Click and you'll see this little string follow your cursor now. While that's happening, go over to your next vertex in counterclockwise order and click on them. You want to make sure they're in order, and you'll see this red line appear on each edge as you're doing it. When you get to the last vertex right before where you started, double click on that. And you'll see yourself with a nice new face in between the two. A nice new polygon, rather. Same thing, same difference. Right here. You want to continue this pattern throughout each of the holes, moving about 4 vertexes at a time, or more if your tunnel is really complex. But you want to basically do it a side at a time, always working counterclockwise. This is why I don't really like working with it, however. You'll see I made a mistake. I believe I either missed a vertex or clicked weird or whatever. And now I have this. Watch out for that. I'm just going to delete that right now. Or not. So every time you create it, everything gets selected and it keeps getting selected. So I'm going to right click out of it, select this one messed up polygon, delete that. There we go. So I'm going to zoom back in, orient myself a bit, and let's keep going. If you do it the wrong way, say you do it clockwise, all that's going to happen is you're going to make it right, but it's going to be, the normals are going to face wrong. So just click on it and flip the normal. So with that in mind, like I said, watch your normals. I seem to be talking about it a lot, but it is a huge deal. You'll get errors that aren't actually errors if you don't do this right, because it'll say there are open edges or multiple edges or stuff like that, when really all it is you have something backwards, because what it doesn't treat it right. And what's annoying is that you can actually get all the way to the tool step without the exporter complaining about it or anything like that. So just make sure they're done right. By the way, if you want to get out of your create tool, you can just right click. This is the same for most tools in 3D Studio Max. Just right click. So even if you're in the middle of creating something, you can just right click. If you already have 3 points done though, it will finish those points, as you can see. And that's something you need to be aware of, because we have backface colon, you might not notice you've created a mistake over here. So just make sure you don't do anything like that and delete any mistakes you created out here. But that's the process. You'll see we now have our tunnel, and this should export just fine. And we now have a map twice the size with a nice tunnel connecting them. But you may have sensed the tone of disdain in my voice when I was doing this because, well, as you noticed, there are so many problems that can occur. You do it the wrong way, the normals are wrong, you miss a vertex, you create a problem that you got to deal with. So many issues with it. What if you have something with 1 billion vertexes? You're supposed to click on each individual one to draw a polygon between them? No. So let's rip this back apart.